Hey guys, I want to give you a little introduction into the Minnow Ethogram assessment. If you're at this point, by now you've done a little reading activity and learned a little bit about what ethograms are and what they're made up of and what the different components are. So now you're ready to write your first one. Now this is going to be an assessment, and I know when students see the word assessment, sometimes it makes them kind of anxious. In this class, assessments are the things I assess are generally skills. And what I'm expecting you to do is get better and improve on those skills. And as you do, you'll get the higher grade. So don't worry that you have to write a great ethogram the first time. Do the best you can. Make sure you're looking at the different components of the ethogram from the last activity. And give it a go, and then I will give you some feedback, and you'll have opportunities to write other ethograms in the future, and your grade will go up as you get better at writing those skills. So let's talk about the setup here. If you read the task, it described you're going to be watching a group behavior in some minnows. We're going to use this later on to do some other research. So we're not going to be describing one individual minnow. We're going to be describing what the group of minnows are doing collectively. They're going to be in a tank. And I've done the first one for you. So I've given you a model of what a good ethogram could look like, or what a complete ethogram might look like. So I named the behavior, and here's the behavior we're going to look at. It's called vibing. I just made that name up. There's nothing special about that name. And if you watch the behavior of the minnows here in the tank, I'm just going to watch it for about a minute. I was looking to see, what are the minnows collectively doing? Can I make some generalizations about this behavior that would allow me to identify it if I saw it again? So what was I noticing? I was noticing that the minnows were generally pretty far spaced apart. They appear to move randomly. When they do swim, they're using their tail fin, their caudal fin it's called, but I just called it their tail fin for now. It makes it easier. And they're kind of facing in random directions. They can be, it looks like, almost anywhere in the tank, although, near the top, near the bottom. Some are moving around, some are holding still. And I just watched these minnows for a while. If I was writing the ethogram, I might even watch it a couple of times over to get a sense of what the minnows are doing. So I watched the minnows a couple times, took down some notes. Then I decided what I wanted to call it. I was like, what are we going to call this? Well, actually, I stole a category description from my class last trimester. They called this behavior vibing. So I was like, great, vibing, perfect. We'll call this vibing. So I went back to my ethogram and I wrote a description. So I said the minnows are separated by as much as 3 centimeters, though some individuals may be closer. Notice I was using quantitative or number details to help you better visualize it. The minnows are swimming using their tail fins in random directions, and they can be found almost anywhere. So I just kind of described what it looks like. Now, your task is to describe 3 more behaviors. There's a video, a second video attached under the introduction here, where I'm going to show you the clips of the minnows for each of the 3 behaviors. You name them. Name them whatever you want, whatever works for you. You get to make up the categories, and then everybody else that uses your ethogram will use those categories. I'll use them when I look at this in the future. Once you've made up the category names for each behavior, you'll describe what they look like. And you should notice some real differences in the behaviors of the minnows, and that's what you're attempting to describe in your first ethogram. When you're done with this, submit it to the assignment, and you are finished. Thanks, everybody. Let me, I gotta pause.